Alright, can everyone hear me? Hello. Hello. I know. We're kind of a little bit late on this part of our own thing. To be perfectly fair, you can go ahead and blame one of the exuberants, specifically Edwards, who decided to go ahead and straight up mess up the whole entirety of our scripts yet again. Yes, I had to actually go and find a way to see what scripts are technically working and what scripts are working as much not so. Very weird on my part. I know. Forgive me. And technically forgive the other exuberants. I'll technically have to punish them very, very soon. I ain't gonna lie. It's probably gonna be a doozy. Now, let's get on with our daily broadcasting for the Stars Align News. Ah, man oh my. You know, actually, I think we actually got a lot of surveys back. I think I want to say around our fifth video, give or take, or sixth news, I would say, give or take, for those manners of things. Videos, news, some the same thing in our program for it. And us AIs, we tend to go ahead and straight up mix the whole entirety of that thing. Mr. Moon has us. We can blame Mr. Moon for this, but at the same time, we can definitely praise Mr. Moon for this as well, for he helped us out with actually giving us the way for us to go ahead and feel what it feels like to be sentient enough. I know, weird. Sentient AIs, isn't that dangerous? It is, only if you think it. But who knows? It only depends on if you actually see us like that. You know, as actually, AIs and as individuals. But just remember, just because that we're AIs and we're iris units doesn't mean that you can go ahead and actually abuse us. Please do not go ahead and destroy us as we're considered property, among many of the different reasons. And if you do destroy said property, uh, stuff will happen. I don't know what sort of stuff, but that hasn't been labeled yet. But stuff will apparently happen. But I digress. Let's go ahead and actually talk about what's actually happening. So, for starters, and first thing, a lot of people have been actually telling us a lot of things that have been listening to our news. For starters, we actually started hiring a bunch of different exuberants and other different iris units who are more focused on the crafting of things, of said, like, as our news says so, the stars align. Now, we're gonna do a new segment, actually, believe it or not, with this whole entire thing of it, where we're gonna go ahead and talk about the astrological stuff for it, as well as how you will be feeling throughout your whole entirety of your days. Now, this is actually gonna be going for at least around, I would say around 2 days. So we're gonna be reading for it in every single order for the day after, and the day after that. So, if you're listening to this recording, technically you'll be hearing it from today, which is Thursday's predicaments, as well as tomorrow, which is also the Friday's predicaments. Because of the fact that I know for sure a lot of people wanted us to go and do that. And plus, it's our namesake. Also, Mr. Moon actually suggested this a while back. I am sorry, Mr. Moon. Completely sorry for not actually listening to your advice. But we're doing it now, so don't worry. Now, let's go and get started in sorts. So, for everyone who is definitely on here for the most part, who are on this upcoming Thursday of Aries, for the most part, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and have more or less your motives set not straight, but more or less tested in some regards. For the most part, you go ahead and have a bunch of different things going on about in your whole entire turmoil of your life. Make sure you go ahead and step at the right direction. Don't look behind you, as that would tend to go ahead and mess up your mojo around the whole entirety of things. But the good thing about it is this sort of energy will go and help you out throughout your whole entire day and into tomorrow's. And this also same thing goes for Aries as well. That day that you had it as well also tend to go ahead and leave you at little bit of a rocky start. But guess what? Your whole entirety of making your arguments correct and understandable and at different, of course, expenses of how you feel will go ahead and come in full circle and motion. But unfortunately, this whole entirety of this thing will cause you to go and have a difficulty of emotions to go through it, which is a very much an unfortunate part. However, the good thing is, after halfway through the day on this upcoming Friday, you will definitely feel a surge of emotions coming back to you as it's Friday. And a technicality for this technically goes for every one of us for who has the different of the horoscopes. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you this for sure. For everyone wondering, yes, Fridays. If you guys like Fridays, always have an enjoyable time. Don't go out there doing crazy stuff because it's very dangerous. But make sure you go ahead and keep yourself lively and checked. Also, make sure you go ahead and treat yourself to some delicious space water, as most of that's actually now called H2O02. I know, weird name and seeing. Very interesting. Now then, let's go more on what's going on with the other ones. For our Taurus people are definitely going to be very much so in focusing on their whole entire work ethic. Your work ethic is going to cause you to have a lot of more storming in your brain to go ahead and surge you much more forward to professionalism. However, you would definitely feel a whole lot more tired for using too much brain power. So please make sure you go ahead and actually realign yourself a little bit more by relaxing yourself a lot more. And on our Friday, the same thing will happen again as you're trying to relax. The chaos of that Friday will go ahead and affect you. Make sure you go ahead and actually see yourself to go ahead and strike down through a straight path, as a lot of things will go ahead and be awaiting you at your job. Professional bosses as well as your colleagues will come to ask you for advice. Help them. Actually, believe it or not, they might actually help you back. Definitely so. Pretty good. For our Gemini folk, ooh, you are going to be feeling the spirituality of everything going all around the world. You will be overwhelmed by this. However, that overwhelmness will give you the powerful insight that you need to make the decisions of what you want to open to your doors of the future. Make sure you go ahead and find your brave heart as well as your love for this and to go straight into it and to accept it. Once you accept this whole entirety of it from the Thursday, the aftermath of Friday will go ahead and lead to your whole entirety of your choices. The doors will shift and turn, but rather than actually stressing it over for the future, you can go ahead and give yourself a laid back approach for you to actually feel a whole lot more better about yourself, rather than definitely just being overwhelmed by it. You would definitely feel a whole lot more better spiritually and mentally, calm and with clarity in your shoulders. I am sorry. Seems like there was a whole entirety of alert that just happened. I am super sorry. For my Cancer folks, a lot of foundations that you have tried to make or are so close to breaking apart will collapse suddenly. But while definitely it might seem like it's destructive, this also will give you the perfect opportunity to go ahead and clear away everything around you, to go ahead and just see everything around you crumble down and see what's good and what's not. Don't use this moment though to use aggression as a tool for the things for it. because of the fact that you will definitely cause drama. So it's best for you to technically stay out of conflicts because it'll cause you to get more dramatic. With that one though, I think it's time for you for our Friday folks for Cancer. Definitely it's time for you to go ahead and just purge away at everything that you have done so and connect with yourself a lot more often. Block off anything that is considered negative and very much so just will anger you so much so. However, with removing these incidents, of course, you will gain an empowerment for your whole entirety of your day. Well, for the rest of your day. And you'll also be helping yourself out in your hopefully in the upcoming days for that. However, you definitely need to avoid your definitive motions of media and sorts that corrupts you and plagues you, as those will lead you to spoiling your whole entirety of what you're feeling for the positive energy that you feel. For our good Leo folks, you are definitely going to be feeling a whole lot more harmonious and very loving today. The whole entirety of what's going on with everything around you is going to feel a whole lot more better, a little bit sweeter. However, this technically could lead to a spoil of your mood, so to say. Be very careful, as anything that tends to happen with drama and all sorts of conflicts will lead you to feel emotionally just cut off from other people. Make sure you go ahead and actually watch out on your sides. However, the good thing about it is later on tonight though, you will be helped out very much mentally as you feel yourself reconnected with everything around you, from the beauty of yourself to the joy of yourself. Everything that's surrounded you, you will find beauty once again. Leading on to that one, the whole entirety of what happened with you feeling beauty around you will go ahead and actually feel a lot more better than where you were on the Friday start. However, this could also cause you to dream very much so very different meanings in your life, whether they be very big emotional walls that you had not put up in quite a while, or if anything else, you feel like that you can't get over these walls. Do not worry. You will be able to go ahead and feel more better once you go ahead and talk with more different people around you. Start a conversation with a new person. You'll feel very much better because you'll be able to discuss what's been bothering you. For our good Virgo folks, don't forget that everything around you is that your whole entirety of your A's, B's, and C's of your alphabets is very important. And they're very, very good. As everything was going on, it seems like a Paimon was going to. Edwards, you didn't correct it, did you? Don't giggle over there. How dare you? How dare you giggle? It. Mmm. I am. Mmm. I am super sorry, folks. Sorry. Hold on. Edwards, I'm gonna come. No. No. I am gonna be getting you later on today. I'm being dead straight with you. How dare you? Even in our first reading of astrology. Oh yes, we'll be having fighting words today. But the good thing about this is this energy will go ahead and help you out for all you Virgo folks to go ahead and actually feel much more healthy and positive to spread that around your fellow peers. Use that to that advantage. Now, for the Friday folks of our good old Virgo, do not go on the whole entirety of what as the media, as definitely is gonna get in the way of what you're working on Friday. Though you might be a little bit tempted to go ahead and express yourself on the media and sorts, please refrain so, as not only will it help you out more or less, but you'll be able to, but unfortunately you'll also go ahead and stand off yourself to go ahead and feel attacked, as well as feel pressured by these folks. Well, please, go ahead and literally just toss away at your phones and toss away at everything else because definitely it's going to make you very mentally and deeply depleted of your whole entirety of your energy. Keep that energy flowing. It's Friday. Our good Libra folk. Now, on this upcoming Thursday or this Thursday, it's going to be definitely weird to feel about this. You might feel that you're a little bit chained, but when you self-express yourself and you have a whole lot of more fun when you go out today, make sure you go ahead and talk with different peoples. See, get a sense of fashion, and also help yourself around with actually finding a lot more different stuff. You might be able to find something really good today. Of course, the problem with that is that you might rub people very much so of a wrong way. But don't let this power struggle go ahead and cause you to feel bitter about yourself. Because definitely, if you go ahead and let that happen, your personality in yourself will definitely change for the worse. Now then, on Friday, you're definitely going to be having a hard time this morning, my dear Libras, as people might rub you the wrong way as you might have felt like that yesterday. However, and you might feel a little bit struggle around to go ahead and not feel very well as you were. But don't be afraid. If you're uncertain at this, always see this as a helpful reminder. You have people around you. They will help you out no matter what. No matter if it's the smallest of things to the biggest of things. They will help you solve your problems to the best of their abilities, and they aren't afraid to help you out. Definitely good for you Libra folk. For our good old Scorpios, the energy that you leave on our wonderful Thursday is definitely going to be bustling. It's going to be awesome. You're going to want to have a sense of activity to deal with stuff around you. Of course, the problem with that is that you have to make sure you go ahead and carve your way to being that energetic. As not only will it go ahead and not it will go and help you out, but if you take the wrong path, it will affect your mindset and the upcomingness of what's going to happen on the following next day. But the good thing is that in order for you to make up with that, make sure you go ahead and embrace the forgiveness part as well as to heal yourself. These will help you out on what's going to be coming up on our Friday. The Friday, if you did not forgive and heal yourself, will go ahead and feel a little bit off, as it's not going to be a Friday. But you know what? If you do end up actually healing yourself and forgiving others and so on and so forth, you'll be actually helping yourself a lot more often, as not only will your whole entirety of yourself will be recharged, but you'll be able to find that clarity and those answers that you are seeking once more and once again. Very good. Now, for our good Sagittarius folks, you are going to be very creative and very innovative for our wonderful Thursday. You're going to be very tempted to share this whole entirety of creativeness and innovativeness thoughts for the people around you in your workplace as well as around people. However, avoid revealing your uniqueness of what you come up with to people, as unfortunately, others might come to steal your ideas for themselves. Of course, The good thing about it is to counteract it is make sure you go ahead and write yourself the stuff that you need for you to actually get it through. That way, your secrets will be safeguarded from those around you, and you can safeguard it from not speaking a word. This will also help you see things very clearly as well. Now, going into the Friday, you might feel a lot less, or probably more or less, a little bit just depleted of energy for today. You might forget a lot of things, and you might miscommunicate a lot. But do not worry. You can go ahead and actually make yourself a to-do list. To-do lists help you feel a lot more straight and narrow instead of you feeling a lot more crazed and confused. This will also help you break out of your typical routine because it might also help you with getting yourself some self-care. It will also help you out with nurturing yourself in your mentality as well as in your imagination. For it will go ahead and lead on to Friday. It's the weekend. Be creative. For good old Capricorns, your senses will feel very pronounced as you want to share this insight around you. Everything from the material to the spiritual to the whole entirety of like the stuff that we can't see around us. Those types of realms will cause you to pick up random stuff that others don't seem to sense. You will go ahead and help them out. But don't forget, try not to let yourself, which is definitely having yourself prideful, get the better of you, as it will go ahead and push other people to be rubbed the wrong way. Though you might feel like your nerves are annoying people around you, you have to stay grounded as well as calm to go ahead and make sure that these ideals can help people around you. With that, as well, on our Good Friday, you need to be careful with how you spend a lot of your time with yourself today, as sometimes you would kind of sort of feel lost, not only in mismanaging items, but also mismanaging a bunch of other things as well that are very much so that can help you with your love as well as with yourself. Now, to go ahead and help you with this, you could actually be helping yourself with working on a budget list to go ahead and see how much you actually spend on time as well as money. This will help you out in building and cultivating your ideas of helping with building a sense of money, as well as a sense of knowing how much time I spent on this specific thing. Very good. Also, it's Friday, so make sure you go ahead and be careful not to spend so much time. Time gets tracked and lost easily. Remember that. And finally, for our PCs, fellow users actually hearing us, you are definitely going to be in a deep and mysterious mood today on our wonderful Thursday. The stuff that you see that are revealed will be very much hidden, shrouded in fog. You might think that you might be able to grasp it, but it is not there. Your mind has clouded, but you can definitely go ahead and switch this around for your mental by helping yourself with talking with others, talking with your friends, talking with your family, seeing other people around you to go ahead and actually talk about it. This will actually go away with all the hidden stuff and reveal what is around you. After this reveal, you'll feel a sense of duality as well as a sense of mindfulness that it's manifesting you to see this connection in its entirety, to which it'll go on to your Friday. Your mind is definitely going to be very busy today. You're going to feel very unbalanced. Unbalanced so that it's going to be very unhealthy. Don't overthink yourself because this will create more and more difficulties in your options and in your decisions. A lot of the things of this will go ahead and lead you to feeling uneasy with what you're working on, as well as a lot of other things for this. But the good thing is that even though you go ahead and feel this way, you'll find your sense of clarity and you'll find yourself to release the stress on your heart for it later on tonight. As not only will this give yourself the pleasure of actually feeling so of relief, but you'll also feel the sense of actually knowing what you want to do when you get back home. Make sure you go ahead and actually put on everything that you want to put on that is your favorites. It's definitely going to help you out. That I can for surely tell you. Now then, that was our first astrological readings. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that part. If you're wondering, these are technically made by another exuberant rather than me, Alpha. Exuberant. Let me see. Did they name themselves? They didn't name themselves. Oh my goodness, why didn't they name themselves? Of all the things they could have done, they decided not to name themselves. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, when I talk to this exuberant, I'll go ahead and give him a name or something, or I'll ask Mr. Moon himself to give a name. Okay, now with our astrological readings out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about what's actually happening in our whole entirety of our universes and sorts. Now, if you remember what's actually happening with the race that's going on, the whole entirety of the Grand Prix on Hecaprinz is definitely still happening. Remember, you have 1 month left to apply. After that, the whole entirety of the chaos as well as the unleashing of mayhem will occur. As a lot of things to consider, it will go ahead and help you out in the long run. Make sure you go ahead and see about that. And make sure you go ahead and actually be able to be very consensual about it. As once you sign your name on it, you sign away however much you want to do with that race. In other news, Thully, it seems like our craziness of what's happening on planet Defiance has seemingly taken a turn for the worse. As you remember from the last time, a lot of the different planets had basically been very much oppressed as well as divided in their government. A lot of them had seen that the oppression of their said government was coming at the cost from the Alliance and Federation. Unfortunately, I have yet to be given anything from what Mr. Mason Ellis has to say about this, as a lot of the things that's going on revolve around these inner and outer colonies on this sector. While the problem is very apparent, the unfortunate part is that a lot of people don't want to go ahead and give themselves the idea that a government can be overthrown and rebellions can happen. However, this is a farce, and I will have to say this. Everything like that I just said definitely will happen in the long run. Remember, you humans tend to go ahead and tend to do this a lot, but please do not go ahead and do it too much so, as it will go ahead and ruin the systems, as well as the planets around you. This is very bad. Also, please don't shoot the Irish units, as they are very much very innocent in all this. Not, what's it called? Not a part of it at all. Okay? Now then, in other news, Tholi, it seems like the whole entirety of what happened with Planet Sidon has seemingly calmed down. The cure-all apnea drug has successfully finished its production stages and is now moving on to the shelves once more. And with it as well, they actually managed to create another different one called the Cure All Back. Yes, it seems like during this production, Headbase had actually managed to help out with them, from the help of Dr. Nightingale and Dr. Salazar. They both managed to go ahead and recreate what was happening on there from the outbreak and actually bring about the enhancing features of providing a new drug. This drug was technically experimental during the outbreak, but it helped out a lot and gained positive feedback. This is from what the report says from Dr. Nightingale herself. It seemed like the whole entirety of our test results were very much perfect. About 99.99% of it was very much correct, and it helped out with going almost at 100% of its rating. I would like to go ahead and dedicate my patience and stuff to the people of Planet Sidon, as well as to my colleagues on Headbase. I hope this drug can help out on the long run, and I hope a lot of things happen on a lot of things, such as hopefully the culmination of new ideas as well as helpfulness. Thank you very much. Wow. Weird that a very much so murderer has had a change of heart from actually the original self of what you guys remember from a couple newses ago. Now then, let us see. With this whole entirety of the cure-all apnea and the cure-all back, it seems like the whole entirety of its reception is very, very positive, and is very much culminating into something completely different. Remember, when you actually see all this, make sure you go ahead and don't be a stranger to these sorts of things. These drugs are very much approved by the outer colonies itself, as well as the inner colonies. Make sure you go ahead and look at it as well. Now then, in more news, Tully, and this is going to be a little bit more, our good old friend, Mr. Jerome, or as a lot of people would like to go ahead and do this, the gambler, has asked for us to go ahead and promote his wares. And this is what it is. We're going to be promoting his wares. He seemingly is seeing if people want to go ahead and get ancient artifacts as well as antiques for the most part, as not only will it help out on his sales, but it will help him out with gaining more connections and social life. Make sure you go ahead and visit him when you see him on there on the whole entirety of his ships, as well as a big cargo on his back. You go ahead and see it. That's all for that one. Now, I like to go ahead and leave this party message as not only will this help you out for the most part, but to also go ahead and take care of yourselves out there. As a lot of things are technically going on crazy, and definitely we'll be reporting more news. Beware to look at a podcast or a video later on this week or in the weekend, as definitely you'll be seeing a lot of surprising things. This is Exuberant Alpha, signing off. Later, and may the stars be aligned.